Om Shanti, 28th October 2023, Baapdada Sakar Murli. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, let your intellects work for unlimited service. Make a large clock with radium hands so that they can be seen shining from a distance. Question: what method should you use to increase service? Answer: invite the clever Maharathi children to your center. Service will grow when the Maharathi children continue to tour around. Do not think that regard for you would decrease if you did this. You children must never become body conscious. Have a great deal of regard for the Maharathis. Song: This time is passing by. Om Shanti. When I heard the word clock, I remember the unlimited clock. This is an unlimited clock. It is all a matter of using your intellect to understand. That clock has a large hand as well as a small hand. The large second hand continues to move. It is now midnight, which means that the night is ending and the day is about to begin. Therefore, how big should you make this unlimited clock? You should make its hands of radium so that they can be seen shining from a distance. The clock explains itself. When a newcomer comes, let him come and see the clock. The intellect says that the hands of the clock have now truly reached the end, so that anyone can understand from seeing it that destruction definitely has to take place and that the golden age will start again. There are very few souls in the golden age, and so all the other souls will definitely go back home. It is very easy to understand with pictures. If anyone were to create such a clock, many people would buy this clock to have in their homes. You have to explain that this iron age world is degraded. There are many religions. Destruction is standing ahead. There will also be natural calamities. Now, how did Lakshmi and Narayan receive their kingdom of the golden age? Surely they must have received it from the Father. The purifier comes into the impure world at the confluence age. The Father does not have to come into the pure world. This is a first class aspect in the explanation of this cycle, and it is very easy to explain this to anyone. Those who have a lot of money should quickly order an artist to prepare these pictures straight away. Any government task is done just like that, whereas here scarcely any do such task. If a very good artist painted these pictures well, they would look very nice. Nowadays, there is great regard for art. They perform the art of dance so much. They believe that previously there used to be such dancing, but that was not so. Therefore, you should have these unlimited clocks made instantly so that people can understand very clearly. The color should also be good so that it constantly sparkles. No human being can be the purifier. Human beings are impure, and this is why they sing. The pure world is heaven. People don't know that it is Sri Krishna who becomes ugly and then becomes beautiful. This is why he is called the ugly and the beautiful one. Previously, we did not understand this earlier. It is now in our intellects that by sitting on the pyre of lust, we definitely become ugly, that is, souls become impure. You also have to write clearly that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, gives you your inheritance and that Ravan curses you. However, people's intellect go towards King Ram of the Raghav clan of Silver Age, but Ram is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. You should use your intellects to create these pictures because these days everyone calls himself God. You understand that there is only one Father and that all souls will go and reside in the Supreme Abode with the Supreme Soul. At that time, the Father is the master of Brahman, the element of light, and we souls are also the master of Brahman. The Father says, I am making you into the masters of the world. No other king, no matter how great he may be, can claim to be the master of the world. The Father is making you into the masters of the world. Therefore, you should surrender yourself to such a mother and father. His Srimad is very well known. By following it, you will gradually be able to follow it fully by the end. If you were to follow it fully at present, you would become elevated. You have to beat your head so much. Your efforts will continue for as long as the sacrificial fire lasts. This is the sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra. People also create sacrificial fires of Rudra in order to attain peace. However, there can be peace through those. There is only the one sacrificial fire created by the Father, into which the ingredients of the whole world are to be sacrificed, and through which you will attain liberation in life in a second. They create so many sacrificial fires, yet there is no benefit in them. You children are non-violent. No one can go to heaven without becoming pure. This is the final period. You have to write that this is an impure world, the degraded world of Ravan. There is 100% impurity, peacelessness, sorrow, and disease, whereas in the golden age, everyone is elevated. There is 100% purity, happiness, and peace, and everyone is free from disease. That is Ravan's curse, and this is the inheritance from Shiv Baba. Your literature should fully explain from what time to what time Bharat was elevated, and then from what time to what time it became degraded. The literature should be such that anyone who simply glances at it can understand these things. By explaining to others, your intellect's intoxication will rise. By staying engaged in doing this business, you will develop this practice. People go to work for 8 hours, and so you have to do this service for 8 hours. The daughters who live at the centers are also number wise. Some have a lot of interest in doing service. They are constantly running around everywhere, whereas others simply sit down somewhere in comfort. Such souls cannot be called all-rounders because they don't think much of the Maharathis. Service become slack. Many have a lot of arrogance about themselves. They think that people should have regard for them, and that if anyone else came to their center, regard for them would decrease. They don't understand that the Maharathis who come would help them. They are arrogant about themselves. There are such foolish ones. The Father says, the Lord and Master is pleased with an honest heart. Baba continues to receive all the news and is able to know the pulse of each one. This Baba is also experienced. The explanation of the cycle is very good. When you give this explanation of yours, service will become very fast and great. At present, service is at an ant's pace. Because you remain body conscious, your intellects do not function well. You now have to do fast service. The intellects of serviceable children continue to work on what should be created. It is very easy to explain using pictures. It is now the Iron Age and the Golden Age is being established. It is the Father who takes everyone back. There is happiness, whereas here there is sorrow and all are impure. Impure human beings cannot grant liberation or liberation in life to anyone. All of those gurus teach you the activities of the path of devotion. All the gurus belong to the path of devotion. There are no gurus on the path of this knowledge. Here, you have to make a lot of effort. To make Bharat into heaven is a game of magic, and this is why he is called the magician. Krishna cannot be called the magician. It is that Father who makes Sri Krishna beautiful from ugly. You need great intoxication in order to explain this. You should go out to serve. The poor take to this knowledge very well. There is less hope for the rich. For every 100 poor ones, there would probably be 1 or 2 rich ones and 5 or 7 ordinary ones that emerge. Everything continues like this. There isn't much concern for wealth. Just look how many armaments the government makes. Both sides understand that there will be destruction. We will attain destruction. Then who will become the hunter? There is the story of the two cats fighting for the butter and the monkey taking it from in between them. Sri Krishna has been portrayed with butter in his mouth. That butter represents heaven. Hardly anyone understands these things. Even those who have been here for 20 to 25 years don't understand anything. When Baba created the bhatti, many came and then many flew away. Even so many remained here. The same thing happened in the previous cycle of the drama, and the same thing is happening now. The larger the pictures are made, the easier it will be to explain them to others. The picture of Lakshmi and Narayan is essential. From the picture of the tree, it is understood when the cults of devotion begin. The first two ages represent the day of Brahma and the other two represent the night of Brahma. Human beings don't understand anything and then they say that Brahma is in the subtle region. The father of humanity would definitely be here. There are such deep matters that they cannot be found in the scriptures. All the pictures that human beings have been looking at are wrong, and all the knowledge they have been listening to is wrong. Brahma has been portrayed with many arms. All of those scriptures, etc., are the paraphernalia of the path of devotion. No one in the world knows when it began. Human beings do so much devotion because they believe that it's impossible to meet God without doing devotion. However, it is only when you have become completely degraded that you can meet God and be granted salvation by Him. Only you know this calculation. Devotion begins after half a cycle has passed. The father says, all the Vedas, Upanishads, sacrificial fires and tapasya, etc. belong to the path of devotion. All of that is going to end. Everyone had to become ugly so that the father has to come and make you beautiful. The father says, I come at the confluence of every cycle, not in every age. They show my incarnation in a crocodile, in a fish, etc. If they are the incarnation of the God, how could he also be in the pebbles and stones? Human beings have become so senseless. The Father has come and made you so sensible. You have to sing the praise of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, of how He is the ocean of knowledge and the ocean of purity. This cannot be the praise of Sri Krishna. Devotees of Sri Krishna say that he is omnipresent. They cling to him so much. You have to release them from that and give them the introduction of the Father. All souls are brothers, and so how could they all be the Father? In that case, whom would you remember? It is the children who remember God, the Father. Those who explain this should have unlimited intellects. The intellects of the children are trapped in the limited, they just sit in one place. Businessmen open large branches in many places. The more centers they open, the better managers they become. However, it then also depends on the center. These are the shops of the imperishable jewels of knowledge. Whom do they belong to? To the ocean of knowledge. There are many points that you have to imbibe and explain. The picture should be put up in a gathering so that everyone can see them. The picture of the clock is very good. By knowing this cycle, you become the rulers of the globe. You have to become spinners of the discus of self-realization. It is very easy to explain with the picture of the clock. So many children who have been here for so long do not become worthy at all. They consider themselves to be very clever. They are pleased with themselves for no reason. If you don't do service, who would think that you are a donor? When you donate, should you donate golden guineas or just a few pennies? These pictures are like mirror for the blind. They will be able to see their faces in these mirrors. Previously, you saw monkeys' faces, or now your faces are becoming worthy of being in a temple. You have to make effort in order to become worthy of being in a temple. This is an impure world, whereas the world that Shiv Baba is creating will be completely pure. The intellects of those who do not follow Srimad are not able to imbibe any of this. The father says, day by day I explain deeper aspects to you, and this knowledge will definitely grow. Some ask the question, how can there be 8 kingdoms? According to these calculations, there should be this many kingdoms. The father says, why do you people go into this? First, remember the father and his inheritance. Whatever customs and systems there are, they will continue. Children will be born there as per the system there. Why do you go into that? Why do you allow your mouth to bring up the subject of wives? It is very good to give these pictures to someone as gift. They are godfatherly gifts. Who wouldn't accept such a godfatherly gift? Christians do not accept literature from anyone else because they have pride in their own religion. The father says, the deity religion is the highest of all. People think that they will receive a lot of money from the Christians. However, these things are about knowledge. Only those who take this knowledge will receive the inheritance from the Father. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Baapdada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children in return to the spiritual father says good morning, namaste, namaste, namaste. Thank you so much, Baba. Essence for Dharna. Point number 1. Sacrifice yourself from deep within your heart to the mother and father who makes you into the master of the world. Follow his Srimad very well and become elevated. Point number 2. Keep your heart constantly honest. Do not become arrogant. Donate the golden gaze and become a Maharathi in donating knowledge. You must definitely do 8 hours a day of godly service. Blessing. May you be a soul who has the fortune of happiness and receive congratulations from Baap Dada by bidding farewell to Maya and experiencing all attainments. May you be a soul who has the fortune of happiness and receive congratulations from Baap Dada by bidding farewell to Maya and experiencing all attainments. Explanation to this. Those whose companion is the Almighty Authority Father constantly have all attainments. No type of Maya can never come to them. Those who maintain the experience of having all attainments and who bid farewell to Maya receive congratulations from Baap Dada at every step. Constantly remain aware that God Himself is congratulating you souls for having attained what you never even thought about. Having attained the Father, you have attained everything, and so you are a soul who has such fortune of happiness. Slogan. Have thoughts of yourself and of God, and wasteful thinking will automatically finish. Have thoughts of yourself and of God, and wasteful thinking will automatically finish. Acha. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.